Hi guys, welcome back to another church check-in. Last week I mentioned that on Wednesday we would be having our paper pantry open. We had about 31 families that were able to be served that night, so that was quite a blessing. I also asked you to pray for our leadership team because they were having a meeting that evening to discuss some very important things coming up. And I thought, well, we all wrote reports for that meeting. Wouldn't it be nice if I gave you some of the highlights? So here's a little bit of information from each of our ministry team leaders. Christian Ed honored our 3 graduates this year on May 17th. Madison Morris, Brendan Friel, and John Adams all graduated. Congratulations, guys. The leadership team got a little bit of an update in what the life application classes have been doing. The Willing Workers just entered into a new study called Teachings on Community. The Be One of Us class has restarted the Cast of Characters book by Max Lucado. And the young adult class has been meeting to study various things, including a book called The Reluctant Witness. Currently, Christian Ed is trying to figure out how to have a book drive for some of the extra books that we have in the library. So stay tuned because you might see something coming for that. Moving on to fellowship and hospitality, we were able to enjoy a bonfire on May 24th that had 15 people come out, and that was a good time. Everyone can look forward to another bonfire on June 27th at 6 p.m. We've sort of kept you up to date with what the property team has been doing. Of course, the bathroom remodel is almost totally complete. There's just some mirrors to be hung and some frames to be made for those. A schedule has come out for mowing the lawn, and if anybody is interested, you guys can still get involved in doing that. There's a sign-up sheet in the furnace room. Various things around the building have been tweaked and fixed, and we owe our property team a big round of applause for all of the work that they've been doing since the beginning of the year to keep us going, to update and maintain our wonderful facility.
Also take a minute to appreciate this awesome cabinet that Phil Carlisle made for us to cover up some plumbing in the hallway. Great job, Phil.
For missions and evangelism, the G family is still our mission of the month. Like I said, the paper pantry was just open, but they will be needing more items now. One of the problems that missions has been facing is that they are finding it hard to get the quantity of items that they need. There are restrictions for how much toilet paper you can buy. So something that would be super helpful is signing up to bring in some of the products that the pantry does need to be able to restock for July. I believe Denise, the leader of missions and evangelism, is going to put out a sign-up sheet just to make sure we get the quantities in the time that we need without having to travel to 16 stores 15 times. You are welcome to donate these products, of course, by your own free will, but if you turn in a receipt, missions and evangelism will reimburse you for that, so don't feel obligated to pay for everything. It remains to be seen if we'll be able to open up normally for the July paper pantry. They're working on some ideas. The music and worship ministry team has been busy with all of these changes as far as going into live streaming in-person services. Some of you know that the sanctuary computer died, and the new one just arrived last week. Music and worship also received a donation of a camera, so we no longer have to use Cornerstone's equipment to live stream. That's been very helpful, and we owe Cornerstone a big thank you for getting us started, both in knowing what we needed to buy, also providing some of their equipment and resources and help as we got started in May. Music and worship gives a huge shout out to Ron Whitaker, who comes in for hours during the week to check out our mic frequencies, electronic issues, audio updates, and general maintenance of all of the equipment that we have here. Thank you, Ron, for dedicating your time. We very much appreciate it. Pastoral Relations has been working hard to make sure that myself and BZ are taken care of, that we feel supported as we jump forward with these kinds of videos, as our duties have slightly increased. And they just mentioned that they appreciate and praise us for our hard work. Thank you. Our shepherding team, which consists of Sue Friel and Cindy Carlisle, are doing their best to help maintain our fellowship in love. Don't be surprised if you start hearing from them soon. Things are a little shaky with the pandemic, but they're working towards some great things. For our stewardship and finance ministry team, Fred, the leader of that, just finished auditing the treasurer's books. Huge thank you to Fred. Everything looked good. And a big thank you to our treasurer, Steve, for the work that he's put in over the last year. As you guys probably remember, we just signed a loan for this beautiful roof that we now have. And it's a 5-year loan, but Fred has challenged us to pay it off in 4 years or less. And some good news there, with extra donations that we've received over time, we've already been able to pay against part of the principal of that loan and have reduced our ongoing interest by around $500 already. And if we stayed on track, we might even be able to pay it off in 4 years right now. That's pretty incredible considering we just got this loan. So keep going, and thank you for all of that support. Wow. Our final report comes from our lay pastor, BZ. Of course, you've seen his upgrade in duties when we were recording our digital services. Also, his midweek momentum is new. We thank BZ for all of that extra hard work that he's putting in during the week, and we appreciate so much his commitment to our fellowship. He says that while it is a bit new to him, that he's enjoying the challenge, and he's encouraged by the work that he sees God doing in our fellowship. He also mentioned he intends to be more intentional with his support of each of our ministry leaders, as well as the congregation, and finding out what their interests are and how he can best encourage all of us in whatever area of ministry we have passion, interest, and gifts. Thank you, BZ, for loving our fellowship. Of course, continue to pray for each of these powerful ministries. And don't forget that ministry happens outside of these walls, outside of just these leadership teams, that ministry is happening in your home, that ministry is happening in the streets, that the church is not a building, it is not the pews, it is the people. It is God's people coming together, fellowshipping, worshiping, equipping each other, and giving support. Thank you for being part of the church. That's all I've got for now, so I'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed day, have a blessed week. Stay safe. We'll see you later.